Live Student Leaders Blog. Live Student Leaders Blog. The blog where leaders blog about the festival shows.
Hey, are you excited for NNBS?
I'm so excited. It's really great.
Should students come to the third one?
They have to come. This is the most talented year yet.
Hey, Mark Weiser, writer of The Cure, what are you doing here at
I am here
NNBS?
supporting Zach Resnick, our semi-finalist, who's also in The Cure.
Yay!
Represent!
I can't wait to be here. A couple of previews from two shows from this year's festival. First up, we have The Farm from my Illustrious Wasteland.
So who'd you guys vote for?
We voted for Lyle! Lisa! Cassie!
All right, it's time for tonight's results. I will now announce the names of the two contestants who will be advancing to next week's final show. Contestant number 1 is Cassie Woolley. Contestant number 2, Lyle Colby.
Live Student Leaders Blog.
So tell me about the show.
It's a science fiction musical. Kind of explores how technology kind of is taking over everyone's life. And it comes to the point where you don't even have relationships with one another, or you don't even deal with reality. And it basically explores those themes. And my character is the troubadour, who's a realist, who very much is a supporter of reality and getting back to those relationships.
Where are you guys in the rehearsal process?
I think we're in our third week. We did a full run through last night, so we're in really good shape.
So you were with the original production in Orlando, right?
Yeah, it was at a theater called the Mandel. It was a thrust stage. Had little bits on the sides of the audience and sit. It was a really nice theater. It was very big, spacious.
The stage for NYMF is going to be a proscenium,
Yes,
right?
yes,
So are
it
you
is.
restaging into?
Oh well, the entire production has been restaged. I mean,
Okay.
it's a new director, and we still have the same vision, the same cohesive ideas that we want to get across, but it's completely new. All the blocking is new.
What are the challenges of directing for a festival?
Definitely not rehearsing in the actual space is a challenge. I think it requires a lot of imagination and a lot of trust of oneself, and then trust of the actors to really trust that you're putting them in the right spots and that everything's going to be okay.
So how much time do you actually have in the space before the first performance?
8 hours.
8 hours?
It's dry tech, cue to cue, and a dress rehearsal.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So
It's
it's
crazy.
loaded that morning? I mean...
Yeah, it's loaded that morning.
Wow. And then because there's other shows playing in that theater at the same time, so does that mean you have to strike after each show, and then
Indeed.
does that mean you have space backstage to keep your stuff, or do you have to load out every
No,
single
we do.
time?
I have to say that NYMF is by far one of the most organized festivals I've ever worked with. There's storage space for each show, and it's organized and allotted in a certain way so that you know where your stuff is, you know where it goes. You have a certain amount of turnover after your show and in between shows to move things.
Live Student Leaders Blog.
Give us a brief summary of the show.
I'll give you one-line synopsis, sure. Back in the late 70s, through the mid-70s, there was the Sandinista Revolution and the uprising in Nicaragua, which is this story in so many words, and the ousting of the President Somoza. So it is about a revolutionary uprising, which has happened throughout history. So it's universal in its theme, and it touches upon that. What's fabulous about this, I did use the word fabulous in that. What's great about this is the fact that it takes place in Central America. So that all immediately leads you to the culture, the music. It's all Latino-based driven themes, the samba, the rumba, and in my case, that's very exciting stuff to dance to.
You've worked on NYMF shows before, so what keeps you coming back?
There's just the thrill of working on a new work with a lot of people who are really passionate about doing a great show and developing a show. You know, from a career standpoint, I think there's always the opportunity to, you know, get in on the ground floor with a show. And I've done big Broadway shows when everybody's in there and you get the whole 9 yards. But in a show like this, it's putting something together for very little money with a lot of passionate people, and it really shows.
Labor of love.
It is a labor of love. It is a labor of love with a stipend.
Have you seen the film?
I have not seen the film, and you know what? In general, I try not to do that when I am in a show. I want to. I'll see it afterwards. I'll see it later, but I want to create what I want to create in this for me.
Can you tell us a little bit about your role in Under Fire?
Under Fire, I play Alex Brazier, which in the film was played by Gene Hackman, a senior correspondent, who is torn between staying in the field and doing what he loves, doing the art of journalism, and taking the big bucks and becoming a network anchor. Meantime, the woman he's in love with is out in the field, and doesn't want to lose her.
And you were also on TV on One Life to Live, so how has working on stage been different from that?
Well, it's nice to have the time to actually rehearse and get any depth. You know, it's soap opera, you get the script that day, 100 pages, and you shoot it that day, and you're done, and you're on to the next one. Here, at least, you're able to spend some time and refine things. Plus, there's all the physical aspects of it. Also, one, I'm not used to taking care of my voice, and it's showing today. You know, I danced when I was young, but I hadn't danced in 30 years, and now I started dancing again in bursts. I mean, it's thrilling, potential. I mean, the music of this particular piece is fantastic. I just love listening to it all.
NYMF Student Leaders Blog. NYMF Student